We find a waistcoat that belonged to Mr.
Layo na na unicorn, wow.
Now these two men, John Hancock and Mr. Sam Adams, could not have come together on any other reason except the revolution. Two different classes. Hancock was the wealthiest man in Boston, or the wealthiest man in Massachusetts. And Mr. Sam Adams, I'm sorry, Samuel, was kind of a ruffian, you might say. A blue-collar worker, and often had to be dragged out of the pub. Now, he had quite an influence with the local working class. Sailors, merchants. You could say he had a silver tongue. He galvanized the cause of revolution amongst the blue-collar folk. Hancock had a way with words amongst the wealthy elite in the area. Before the revolution, the building served as a seat of British rule to find the office of the royal governor. Thus, the lion and unicorn on top. Now, those are replicas. The original ones were taken down during the revolution. So just after the British left Boston. This intersection just came through the intersection of State and Congress is where the event called the Boston Massacre took place. Also known as the Britain was known as the incident on King Street. 5 people died. Is that a massacre? I say no. Tragedy? Absolutely. Massacre? No. That was propaganda. Here's the facts. It took place March 5th, 1770. It was a British soldier that got into a building called the Customs House. He was being harassed by an angry mob. Fearing for his life, he called for help. An officer came along with 7 British soldiers. Shots were fired into the crowd. By the time the smoke cleared, 3 people lay dead, 2 people lay mortally wounded. The officer was acquitted. 8 British soldiers stood trial. 2 convictions were laid down by the court. Well, these men were not convicted of murder but manslaughter, the lesser crime, and the sentence was to have their thumbs tattooed with the letter M for manslaughter. One reason why they had such a sentence was because their attorney was a genius. His name was John Adams, who became the 2nd President of the United States. We used to have a school child ask, hey, Meatball, well, why would Adams defend these men? Wasn't he a revolutionary? He was. Now, the colonies wanted a fair shake. They did not want these men, these British soldiers, to be thrown to the mob. That would not be fair. Okay, massacre. The term was used as propaganda by people such as Sam Adams, Samuel, shame on you, and Paul Revere, as fuel for tinder to feed the fire of revolution. One of Revere's occupation was, in fact, an engraver. He made the first engraving of the Boston Massacre. And it was the first time the color red was used as a political statement to describe the bloody streets of Boston during the Boston Massacre. Folks, this part of town is called the Financial Center. Once called the Textile Center. That all changed November 9th, 1872, when there was a great fire of 1872. The fire started at the corner of Kingston and Summer Street at a Hoopskirt factory, and quickly turned to a conflagration, which is a really big word for me. I'm hooked on buckets. It took 3 days to contain the fire. Not to extinguish, but to contain. The reason why is because the horses that belonged to the fire department, they got sick. They were not strong enough to pull the wagons. And the firefighters had to do this job themselves. This had a response time. Folks, that coupled with the fact that the fire was so intense that embers were sent to the atmosphere, still smoldering. As we returned to Earth, they touched off fire elsewhere in Boston, as well as set ablaze the sails and the ships in Boston Harbor. It was a fire in 1960. The only industry that had enough money to rebuild was Boston's financial industries. That's the Financial Center. Hey, folks. The other one, Joe. Folks, to your right, you know what? There's a series of parks called the Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy Greenway, honoring the matriarch of the Kennedy clan, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, dedicated in '04 by her son, Senator Ted Kennedy. Each one of these parks represents the neighborhood it's in. You'll find in the morning, afternoons, before and after work, boot camp style workouts, people doing yoga. Lunch wagons we found here throughout the day. From Wednesday to Sunday, you'll find 2 blocks down in front of the Harbor Hotel, a beer garden and a wine garden. On the weekends, you'll find art sales, tag sales, things to do for the kids, free movies. There's actually an art exhibit going on along the Common. I'm sorry, along the Public Garden. Kill up your inside. If you have a chance to check it out, take a look. Now, where the Greenway is now, you'll find always something happening. In front of us there was the New England Aquarium, which came to the waterfront in 1969. We can find the 3-story cylindrical tank holding over 200,000 gallons of Boston Harbor water. You'll find the star of the show, Marla Turtle. She is a 560-pound loggerhead turtle. Love how big as a little kid's life. I mentioned earlier the shuttle that goes from Long Wharf over to the Navy Yard. You can get it to your right-hand side. It leaves every 30 minutes. Did you guys have fun? Good Joe, please, a round of applause. Way to go, Joe. Well, please stay in your seats. Joe is going to park the duck. We're going to shut her down. I'm going to march her down the aisle, drop the gangplank, and let you guys off. Look at things you may have left behind. If you find anything missing when you get back to your hotel, such as a Gucci bag,